The strategy of packing in tight and jamming can be an effective way to neutralize an opponent's ability to attack. In boxing, the clinch is a temporary defensive measure, but in jiu-jitsu arts like Aikido, clinch position is the goal. The Tsume kata in Aiki Toho Iaido relates to the Aikido technique iriminage. Tsume literally means stuffing or packing. Throwing an opponent this way in Kendo may only get a double flag, but we can see how iriminage can arise quite organically in the natural course of combat. Sema means to attack. It's the ability to put physical and psychological pressure on your opponent. If you have no means of pressuring the opponent, then you have no way of winning or controlling the situation. You will always lose. In Kendo, an important element of sema is sansatsu, meaning kill or defeat three things: their sword, their technique, and their spirit. Killing the opponent's sword can involve pressing, flipping, or rolling their sword. In Tsume, we open with osai, either pressing their hand if they are preparing to draw, or pressing their raised arm if they're preparing to strike. Killing the opponent's technique means not giving them any opportunity to attack you. You can do this by disrupting their timing and spacing. In Tsume, we are killing their technique by stuffing their attacks. Tsume, like the basic techniques of Aikido, provides a raw framework of deeper principles, a path toward further study and research, not a finished product. Attempting to actually apply Aikido techniques in their basic form on an opponent is naive and shows a serious lack of understanding. And if an inner structure of aihanmi does not exist within every movement, then it's impossible to effectively apply sema. Killing the opponent's spirit is much more difficult. It's the ability to convey a strong sense of calm power and to create doubt and fear in the mind of your opponent. Because Aikido has a philosophy of peace and harmony, many Aikido practitioners make the mistake of facing their opponent in a passive, blissful state, as though some magic will arise simply from achieving some special state of mind, at least right up until the opponent's fist crosses their jaw. They may think that Aikido has failed them, but in reality they have failed themselves. This is not only foolish, it's disrespectful of the opponent. You must be able to influence your opponent's thoughts and actions, otherwise they can do anything they want to you. You must be ready to give everything you have and never assume that things will go your way. Even though we don't wish to kill the opponent, we have to kill their ability to attack and injure us with the same seriousness and intensity as if we were fighting to the death. Our opening strikes here are intended to apply sema to our opponent, causing them to respond by either attacking or defending. This is a way of getting your opponent's defenses off center and creating an opening. Aihanmi, whether with the sword or empty hand, is different from just striking to kill or injure. The purpose is to momentarily interrupt the opponent's ability to fight and thus control their actions. applying this form with a partner, we can see one version where we open with osai to the opponent's drawing hand. In another version, the opponent is preparing to strike, and we open with osai to their forearm. There are some problems that can occur when you raise the edge of your sword this way. Here you can see a feint to a men strike. The opponent raises their shinai to block, only to be open for kote. It's essential to be moving forward when you cut up under your opponent. Just like a boxing uppercut, this uppercut is a close-range technique. Think of all the times when you've seen people in Aikido or in Aiki Ken or Jo work sink their weight down or back like this while receiving or deflecting an incoming attack. This is a fundamental mistake. It makes you so vulnerable that it's almost guaranteed you will lose. Had he moved forward here instead of sinking back, he would have had a very good chance of stuffing and neutralizing his opponent's men strike. To avoid exposing my kote on the uppercut, I'll modify the basic form here a little by angling my sword out slightly and cutting up under the opponent's arm. I also blend the uppercut and final cut into a single step. Notice again that I keep moving forward, packing in the whole time. In Kendo, this clinch position is called tsubazeriai, which means handguard fight. It's common to score a point from here by striking the opponent as you step back. This is called hikiwaza. It can get you a point in Kendo, but in Aikido, when applying empty hand atemi, moving away while you strike neutralizes the power of your strike. So we have to recognize what makes for good Kendo, like hikiwaza, doesn't always make for good Aikido, and what makes for good Aikido, like throwing your opponent on their back, won't necessarily win you points in Kendo.